Hello everyone and welcome back to the craft table. Today is a little bit different. I was going to get my 1,000 subscriber video out, but it's been a crazy week, so I need a little bit of a break. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. As you can probably see, after years of love, this analog stick is pretty bad. So today I'm going to show you how, if you have your own Xbox controllers and you need to change the analog sticks, this is going to be like a little tutorial on how to do it. It's a very simple process. There's no adhesives to worry about. It's just 7 screws, and then you just pop them off. And basically, this is what the finished product's going to look like once you open up the controller. So I guess not really finished, but we're going to break down the controller into this. So as you can see, this is the front of the controller. This is the analog stick. Lots of dust in here over the years. We've just popped them off. They come off really easily, and I'm going to be fixing this controller as well. So, and these are the sticks that came off of that controller. It's not as bad as this one right here, but yeah. So basically what you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver. The bit I have chosen is a J0, and this is an iFixit. This is part of an iFixit kit. I really like their products, but any screwdriver will do. This one just very fun to use. So basically, once we're ready, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a mystery hidden screw underneath this label right here. If you don't take this out and you try to pry it apart, you're probably going to crack the shell, which is not what you want, especially on stuff this old. You can't really find a replacement that easily for the shells. So my recommendation is keep an ice tray around. This is the screws from the other controller that I showed you, and the other analog stick, which isn't as bad because the R stick doesn't get as much punishment. But yeah, we're just gonna start taking these apart. And before I put in the actual screws, I will show you the replacement parts that I got. I actually bought them from eBay. They were incredibly cheap. It was like, I think 12 of them for $4 or $5. It was like a whole set. And I'm gonna probably see over time how these actually are, how they feel. Because they're a little bit stiff right now, but they haven't been broken in yet. This screw is giving me trouble. There we go. But yeah, I've got a bunch of these replacements, and I got them for very cheap. They shipped quick. Yeah, I was surprised how quickly they got here. And then I'm also surprised how long I put this off, because I've been using these controllers forever, and at this point they like wither away as you're using them. Like the thumbstick will just perpetually have your thumb blackened by it just wearing off. And again, we have to puncture through right here. Let me see if I can make an indentation. It might be a little bit tough to see. But right here, where this little bubble is, that is the 7th screw. So what I'm gonna do is just punch through, get a grip on it, and I can feel the case coming apart already, because there's nothing holding it together anymore. Even the motherboard is not attached this way. And then we just pull it off, like so. Then again, like I said, there is nothing keeping this attached now, so we can just carefully pull the motherboard off. If you've never modded electronics before, this is a really good place to get started, because it gets you comfortable looking inside the console or the controller, and it's just a really good place to start if you're afraid of getting into the modding community because you'll break something like I was. Stuff like this just gets you a little bit more comfortable, and it just gets you a little bit more used to opening things up and realizing that things are a little bit harder to break than you probably expect. So yeah, let's get this thing out of here. So they just pop off, and as you can see, like, there is almost nothing left to this. This actually is what I used to play Need for Speed '06, and by the time it was over, my thumb was destroyed. But yeah, glad to finally be replacing these. So this is how the replacement sticks come in. I've actually got 2 of these. They shipped together. I didn't realize I bought so many, but again, they were like $4, so I'm happy to have them. And so this is an original stick, and this is the eBay replacement. They look pretty similar. The material is a little bit harder. It's not that much harder. It probably just needs to be worn in. But this is the right stick on the other controller. That's why it looks a lot newer, because again, not as much punishment. And showing it next to this isn't exactly helpful of a comparison. But basically what you do is you just line up the underside of this. Ooh, focus. And it's like an oval, and you just pop it on there. Then we'll do the same for this one. See, this right stick was much worse. Somebody's fingernail really dug into this one. And again, we just line it up. These are essentially the same exact controller. I mean, analog sticks, thumbsticks. Click them in to make sure they're actually pressure fit. And then we're just going to do what we did in reverse. So we take the controller. Oh, of course, press the buttons. Make sure everything is lined up correctly. Alright, everything seems to be slotted back into place. Make sure to put your vibrating motors back into place correctly. And then the really important part is make sure this cable is lined up correctly, so you don't cinch it when you are putting it all back together, because that would be really bad to do all of this correctly and then break the wire. Do like one little check before you actually screw it all back together, so you don't have to do this all over again. Ah, that's what's wrong. So I'm glad I checked. The membrane on the D-pad shifted. So once again, we do that. And again, accidents happen. This isn't that bad if you had to reopen it again, because again, it's just a few little screws, but might as well do it right on the first try. Put these back. Again, make sure the controller cable is in the correct position. Much better. Okay, and I'm just gonna screw one of these in. Give it one final check. I like to be thorough, so that way when I go to pick it up to play with it again, it's not some kind of crazy surprise where one of the buttons isn't responsive. But this looks pretty flush. Ooh, they actually feel really nice. I'm not sure who I bought them from, because there's like a million of these aftermarket analog sticks, but it actually feels pretty grippy. Now that it's in use, and I'm using my like thumb, it feels very good. I'm very happy with these. So make sure all the buttons feel correct, D-pad, and triggers. So now all that's left to do is just to put it all back together. Right, that screw is already in there. Unfortunately, I wish they wouldn't have put a mystery screw under here, because that just, it doesn't bother me that much because this controller is just like already coming up at the seams. But if you're trying to like keep these preserved, this sucks. That really sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. Especially if the thumbsticks were as bad as they were in here. Where it was becoming unusable because you were gonna have to like ice your thumb after use. And then one more, and we will be done. It's kind of hard doing this while I'm trying to look in the viewfinder to make sure it's on the screen. But yeah, now we have our replaced sticks, and it's as good as new, or at least mildly used. That's 2 controllers with brand new third-party analog sticks, and they feel great. Very happy with these. All the buttons are correct. One more check. Yep. And it's just that simple to fix these analog sticks and these old controllers. Luckily, the motherboard isn't even held down by anything. It's just as soon as you unscrew these, everything just opens up. So this is a really good console controller to get started on if you're trying to get into the modding scene and you just want something very, very simple to start off with. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Do you have your own Xbox controllers? Have you done this? Has it gone horribly wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. And lastly, if you want more videos, maybe not like this, but some game reviews, some retrospectives, things like that, why don't you hit subscribe? It helps me out quite a bit. But until next time, this is Under 10 Hours. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.